Oh no, what's happened? Preparazione dello streaming dal vivo per riunione is in ok. Ora in streaming dal vivo su servizio streaming dal vivo personalizzato. Okay, so there's a window open here and it's doing something.
Okay.
And
I think it's not recording, Gordon. Because usually we see you are recording the...
Ok, no, è partito perché c'è un rientro. Eccola, eccola. Okay, right. Can you still hear me? Yes. Okay, so I haven't broken that. Yeah, because it's opened YouTube and it's streaming on YouTube now. Fine. Agnese, the recording is done directly through the YouTube, isn't it? Yes. Or through YouTube, not the YouTube. Sound like my father. Bless him, if he was still here. Okay, so so good evening, everybody. Sort of a slightly smaller band today, which is fine, rather than a symphony orchestra, which is a bit too big. I hope everyone is okay, and I'll just bring your attention to the stuff in the chat if you haven't already seen it. The first is a PDF file, which are the notes on what I thought we'd look at today, or at least start to look at. And the other is the register, if I understand correctly. So if you follow this link, I don't know how it works. If you follow the link, it should open a page where you say that you're here. Is that all right? Yeah? Yeah. Now, I don't know how...
Sorry, Gordon, can you put it again, the first link?
Yeah, okay, you can't see it.
No, perhaps
Me neither, sorry, both of them.
Yeah, I will. It's really strange because there's nothing else on the chat. So I just don't understand how this stuff works in sorry, I'm just complaining about Zoom again. Here we go. Right, this is have you got it?
Thank you, yes.
Unless it only shows you instantaneous stuff, I've got no idea. And the other one, let me just see, let's see if I can, now I've got it open, so it may not like it if I try and copy it into Zoom. Let me just copy onto the chat. So I think it's going.
Thanks, thank you.
Yeah, have you got it? Okay, now let me just open it, see if this works. Right, okay, now, hi Ivo.
Hi.
Everything okay? I was just saying, there's some stuff in the chat, if you can see it. There's a document and there is a link for the register, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't open my YourCam. So coraggio, we can do it. Just bear with me 2 seconds because I need to. I always forget one piece of my desktop. So I'm just going to move that over there, which is going to be a little bit strange because I'm not looking at you guys anymore. I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so I'm going to share. Condividi, and what am I sharing? I'm going to share this. Okay, right, 3, 2, 1, it should come up. Can you see my hand?
Yes.
Does it work? Yeah, okay,
yes.
right, yeah. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so I'll just bring that down here a little bit, and okay. Can you see the right? If I write, is that okay? Is it big enough?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, because I'm running out of felt tip pens. Okay, so last time we sort of we went through a few exercises about I think there was some collocation stuff, and this time what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a look at the writing task. Now, clearly in an online in an online lesson, I'm not I'm not going to be able to have you write something and then I can come around and check it, because that's not possible. But what we can do is we can look at how the writing task is formulated in the exam, and also we can look at an example of the writing task. Now, there is a difference. There is quite a big difference between the B2 level and the C1 level. In fact, it's a huge difference, to be honest with you. In the B2 level, at the B2 level, obviously you're expected to be able to put together a reasonable, let's say, piece of text, typically about some topic which has been given. There are several parts to the writing task. We're going to look at the first one today, but at the B2 level, they're looking at grammar, they're looking at correct use of verbs, they're looking at spelling, they're looking at correct sentence construction. Okay. At the C1 level, that's all taken for granted. Okay, what they're looking for is they're looking for natural language, or more natural language. So this involves using phrases, using the sorts of phrases that you would use to introduce a topic. It involves thinking very carefully about the construction. Now, I've found this with younger students, sort of teenagers and slightly older, let's say university students, that for some reason, and I don't know why, they struggle with the idea of structure. Now, you guys are a lot older, so you know, this should be fairly obvious, but it's the use of paragraphs. Paragraphs are incredibly important in structuring ideas within a text, and part of the let's say part of the C1 level is being able to use these structures in the correct way. Now, you're probably thinking, hold on a minute, but C1 is should be testing my language abilities. Well, it is, because being able to structure a written argument, whether it's a letter or whether it's an essay, is part of advanced language skills. So this is where we're going. We have to take, let's say, take note of the fact that this type of approach is what is expected, because it's part of how, let's say, how people are taught in the UK and also in the US to, let's say, structure an argument that you're making. Okay, so. But the thing is this, and this is the thing which I found difficult to get across to the students, to the younger students, was that it actually helps you, because by breaking things down and making notes and it actually gives you a framework. So it saves you a hell of a lot of time and stress by providing you with a structure. Okay, so I'm going to see if this will, okay, right, it will work like this. Okay, so so there are several parts to the writing part. There's the part one, in which you are given an essay, in which you're asked to write an essay in which you discuss a question or a topic. So this is important. There are typically, or there are 3 areas to consider in the question or the topic, and you must discuss 2 of them. Okay, so why is this? Well, it's because it gives you a chance to maybe your vocabulary is more focused on 2 areas rather than the 3rd one, so it gives you a chance to shine. But also, they're looking. If you write about the 3rd one, you won't get any marks for it because you didn't answer the question. Okay, so the 3rd one doesn't count. Yeah. So if they say 3 areas and discuss 2 of them, choose 2. Basta. Okay, no more. Okay. And there will be some 3 opinions which are given. Now, the opinions are quotes from people who have supposedly been interviewed for during the preparation of the question. Okay, so during the question, the preparation for the topic of the question. So notice you can use if you wish. You don't have to, but you can. So a good strategy is to actually, since it's there, it's presented to you. A good strategy could be to use it to help you. Okay. So what are they testing? They're testing an ability to develop an argument or a discussion, express an opinion, opinion clearly, and give reasons and examples to support your ideas. Okay. So this is what we're looking at. Okay. So so this is an example. Okay, I've just put an arrow here to focus our attention. This is what it looks like on the paper. Okay, it's like in a section, and it says, so in this case, it says underline the key ideas in the writing task below. Now, of course, this is on a screen, so underlining gets a bit complicated. But what I would like to ask you to do is I'd like to ask you to spend a couple of minutes looking at the file I've sent, so it's nice and big and you can see it properly, and just look at the sentences and make a note of what you think the key ideas are. Okay, so and then we'll have a look at this. Okay, so if you like, this is it's a task about doing the task. Yeah. Okay, is it clear what to do? È chiaro cosa fare? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least it's clear to someone, one person.
Francesco, yes.
Okay, so
I entered, I was late, so perhaps I...
Okay, Emanuela, so you guys get on with, you open the PDF that I've sent you and get on with it. Emanuela, have you had a look on the chat?
No, because I was late, so I can see the messages before I enter.
Okay, you can't see the messages before.
I can't.
Ah, Zoom.
Me neither, because I was late.
No, okay, right. I'm going to put the stuff on the chat again.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's me understanding how Zoom works as well. Right. Okay. Where the hell is it? Chat. There it is. Just 1 second. Okay. Now, 2 seconds. I think I have to put that on there. Okay. So the notes are coming across.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And hold on a minute.
I lost the last.
You lost the last.
The last lesson as well. Yeah, the last lesson as well.
I think there's a video somewhere.
Yes, I didn't have time to
It's okay.
to
No,
do it,
it's
but I know how to do it.
yeah.
I will.
I mean, yeah. No, it's okay.
As
You
soon as
can spend. You need 2 lives now because you can spend a life looking at videos on YouTube, and watching videos of lessons is not the most exciting of things. So anyway, okay. So have you got the files now, everybody?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So this is it's slide number 3. Okay. So if you just want to have a look at it, and we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it together in a couple of minutes. Okay. I'll just give people a chance to. I want to move that there, and I need to move this here. There we go. That's it.
How you like cookie?
Is that something on the chat? Maybe. Everybody ready? Ding dong. Got someone else. Has someone just joined?
Class.
Has someone just joined? Yes, someone just joined. No.
No, it was me for a
okay.
moment.
Okay. No, it's just because when it goes ding dong, I was wondering whether I needed to put new stuff on the chat. Okay, so can I just ask, have you managed to get some ideas about this, or do you need a couple of minutes more?
Maybe some
It's a little bit more time. I'm not quite sure. That sounded very alien. It sounded like some sort of voice scrambler from the future. Can you repeat it, please?
I'm not very sure I've understood well
The task.
the task, because I have to choose 2 methods school and the university used to help.
No. That is not the task. That is not the task. Okay. If it's not clear, you must stop me and ask me. Okay. Because sometimes I just assume, because the thing is, if I'm in a classroom, I can see people going, don't understand. But on internet, it's a bit more difficult. So no, it says the first thing is, because this is what this is, it's a way of looking at the exam paper. Okay. And so it's like, this is like training for how to do the exam. It's not the content itself. We get to the content in a minute. But it's so the thing to do is this. It says, underline the key ideas in the writing task below. So what do you think? What's the, so well, we could go through it. Maybe someone has some ideas. Does anybody have any ideas? What would you underline? What would you note? What do you think is important here? Remember, this is to help you do the writing so that you focus.
Help students to find
Okay. Okay, so this is what finding jobs which fit their abilities. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this is what this thing is about. Yeah. Something else that might be important in here.
Interests and passions, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So we've got abilities and interests. Okay, fine. You don't need to go looking for anything else that's not here. Okay, so you can just keep it focused on this. So something else that you might you think is important here. Key ideas.
take care of their abilities and try to improve it.
No, we're off track. We're off track. So the key idea in the writing task is obviously about the education system, and it's obviously about how this relates to young people, okay, and finding jobs, okay? So what have you got? You've got the methods that the schools and universities use, okay? And you've got some opinions. Now, if we look at the opinions, we've got an opinion about irrelevance. We've got an opinion about work experience. Okay, so we could maybe say something about that. We never use. Okay, we've got work experience. Actually, I wonder. No, I don't think I can. Maybe modifica. No, I can't. I thought I had a highlighter pen, but I don't. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got things you never use, work experience. Okay. What about teachers never done any job? Okay, other than teaching. Okay, which is a sort of quite a classic. Okay. Now it says write an essay discussing 2 of the methods in your notes. Okay, 2 of the methods. Which are the methods? Courses, qualifications, work experience,
and
careers advice. Okay, it says write an essay discussing 2 of them. Okay, so you're free to choose. Maybe you have strong opinions on one of on a couple of them and you don't know anything about the third. That's fine. Okay, now it says here you should you should explain which method is more effective. Okay, so here we are, I'm here. You should explain which method is more effective, giving reasons in support of your answer. Okay. Now, in this case, in these essays, there is no right or wrong answer. It's a position, and the position you take, you defend.
So I can begin with, in my opinion, the more effective method is.
That's too blunt. You need an introduction, but we'll come to the structure in a minute, okay? Because what we're looking at. Okay, now hold on. I have to go back onto the chat because there are a couple of people who haven't got the. This is weird. I've never known a chat where you have to keep repeating stuff. But anyway. Okay, fine. This is the way Zoom works. Okay, right. So notice this. So we'll come to the details in a minute. Okay. It says you may, if you wish, make use of the opinions expressed in the seminar, but you should choose your own words as far as possible. Okay, so you can use this, but don't copy it. Yeah. But I think usually these are they're fairly generic. So being able to paraphrase is probably not so difficult. Okay, now it says write your answer in 220 to 260 words in the appropriate style. What is the appropriate style? What is an appropriate style for this?
I think is you have to be focused.
Okay,
You
focused.
have to go in Italy. In Italy, we are used to be, I don't know the word is, sometimes we are police. Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to be straight.
Spari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be straight on the point.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's one thing, which is a good exercise in its own right, I think. I think the thing here is okay, so that's certainly true, Enrica. I think it's the style. Okay.
Perhaps also in a formal style, because you need to maintain, to keep the right registro.
Yeah, the right tone, the right register. In fact, register is the word that's used in this type of situation to describe the. Yeah. So yes, formal. So don't be using appropriate means that it should appropriate. No, Valentina, no. Appropriate means that the style, or as it's just been said, the register that you use has to be correct for the situation. So don't write slang. Okay. Yeah. So you may be into YouTube rappers from New York, but don't write slang. Okay. Yeah. So okay, so it's in this case it's formal. You may have a task where you're asked to write a letter to a close friend who's gone to live in China for 6 months. Okay, obviously the register there is not going to be formal, it's going to be very informal. Okay. Okay, so 220 to 260 words is about half a page, just a little bit over half an A4 page. You don't get hung up, or you don't get hung up on the on the numbers unless you're too far under or too far over. Okay, so the problem here is that if you are too far under, that you're going to lose marks seriously, because you need to get to 220. If you're too far over, you're wasting time because you have other tasks to do in the exam. Okay. So the problem here is to just keep a note of how much you're writing. No, it's okay. So the example here, Valentina, we are talking about a writing task. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're discussing. We are not. We're not actually doing the writing itself, at least not yet.
Excuse me, you said, as I just entered, maybe I'm not clear if you are talking about the final test as like
yes.
C1. Oh, my.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm talking.
What to do now?
No. Okay. Right. No. It's
like facsimiles.
Yeah. This is looking at how the test works. Okay. Hai capito?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was an exercise. Like
no.
Last time we did.
No. The exercise.
Not orange. Okay.
No. The exercise is to think about how to do the exam. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And the exercise. the exercise we're doing now.
wasn't
No,
used.
because it's this again is something which is there's a big difference between let's say what I've seen when I've worked with students here and the UK system, which is understanding how to do the exam is as important as the content, because you have to put down the content in a certain amount of time. Okay, so you have to understand this idea that I think it was Enrique said about being focused, being succinct. Okay, so at this point, I think it should be fairly clear that you're looking for somewhere around 250 words or so, which is enough to get the marks. Okay, if you go over by 10, that's okay. If you're still writing and you've got 350, no, you should be doing something else at that point. Okay, you're taking time away from answering because there is another writing task after this one. Okay, so if you look at slide 4, this is an example. This is an example of the thing, and I think I'd like to give you a couple of minutes, 5 minutes or so to read through this. It also continues on to the next page as well. So this sort of gives you an idea of the sorts of things that are presented. Okay, so have a look at the example that's in the chat. Okay, and then we'll have a discussion about this. Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Okay, you ready? Can we go forward? Or are you still reading it?
I have read it.
Okay. You are showing us. Right. Okay. Sorry, I have to put this is, I think this is about the 10th time I've put this file on the chat. Just 2 seconds. So for some reason it's not taking it anymore.
Because when somebody enter, he can't see the message before. But I think it happens with all systems because Meet is the same.
Okay. Okay, so Rita, the answer would be yes, but for some reason it's not letting me do it. So let me just see if I can copy it and paste it. No, it's not letting me do it for some reason. It doesn't want to do that. Let me just close the chat 2 seconds and see if I can. Oh, don't understand why it's. Okay, so Rita, the answer would be yes, if Zoom would let me do it. And I don't know why it's stopped, because I managed to pass it on to other people around the table. Unless it's, no, it's not letting me do it for some reason. Can I ask someone around the table to try and send the file to the group?
Which file? Sorry, Gordon.
The file that I have just sent, the file with the slides. Yeah. So if you should have taken it from the chat.
I'm using Paint to have a screenshot, and now I try to.
Okay. So you're
okay.
doing it a different way. Okay.
A JPEG, and now I try to attach.
Okay. Yeah. It's just it would be. It will be easier if it were the PDF file that I sent, but if it's not going to let me do it, it's not letting me do it.
I copied it.
Okay, I've seen the link. There's a link for the Google Docs, which is the register. I've seen that, but I'm looking for the PDF file that I sent at the beginning of the lesson.
I copied it and I sent it now on chat.
Okay. Okay.
It should be visible. I don't know.
It should be coming through. Okay, it's not.
No.
The vagaries of Zoom. The vagaries of Zoom. Okay, right. So I'll tell you what. There
okay,
it is.
I've done it.
Thank you, Sarah. It's come through. Okay.
You're welcome. Don't worry.
Okay, so okay, so this is the text altogether. It's probably a little bit small, but the question is, so why is it important to underline the key ideas in the writing task? That's the first question. Why is it important to underline the key ideas? So if you remember, going back just to here, we said, let's underline key points here.
To make sure we answer the question.
Yeah, exactly. You make sure you don't forget anything. Okay. Okay. Now, so the next thing is, why should you write a plan before you write your essay? Now, this is an exam. You don't have a lot of time, so you don't spend a lot of time on the plan. But what would your plan contain?
The main argument.
Okay, the main arguments.
You want to write on.
Yeah, but how you want to fill the space, yeah? Okay, so it's the main points that you want to get across, the main points that you want to discuss, okay? So, coming to the comment about starting in my opinion, okay, I said no, because it's too brusque. You wouldn't open an academic discussion or something with "in my opinion." Okay, so notice what she's done here, or what this student has done here. This is an introduction, okay, and so you start with an introductory paragraph. I always describe this as a sort of like it's like a sandwich. You always have an introduction and you always have a conclusion, and then you can have all sorts of stuff in the middle, but you always have these two parts. Okay, so
I noticed.
Sorry?
I noticed that they use personal sentences, like for many young people, or this point of view, or
Yeah,
they think,
yeah,
or
exactly.
they need something objective and impersonal.
Yeah, except
in my opinion.
except when you get down here, I would therefore
in the
argue,
end.
but this is the conclusion you're sort of drawing. And she says here, while I understand this viewpoint, I do not entirely share it. I believe. Okay, so this is, I mean, this part here is relatively impersonal. It's relatively objective. But since the essay was actually asking for your opinion, you give it. You should give it. But notice the language that she's using. She doesn't say, I don't agree with that. She's using much more sophisticated language. Yeah. Why? Well, remember, you're not being tested on on your knowledge or ability to understand the careers advice service. Okay, you're being tested on your ability to use relatively sophisticated language to argue a point. Okay, so you're putting this you're putting a viewpoint across, you're putting an argument across, okay, but you're not necessarily being extremely, let's say, extremely blunt about it. I totally disagree. Okay, so there is a personal element in it because it does ask for a personal opinion. Okay, but notice how she uses this. So while I understand this viewpoint, I don't totally agree with it. I believe, okay, and then she sets out a proposal to achieve this. I do not think it matters. Okay, so let's say her personal ideas are definitely in the thing which she's proposing, the text which she is proposing. Okay, but it's in general, it's the tone is really quite it's really quite, let's say, a formal argument. Okay, so yeah, so this is important, this question here. It says what phrases, what words and phrases does she use in her essay to introduce her opinions? So why is this important? Why do I say this is important? Because these are the sorts of turns of phrase which are useful to remember. Okay, so we've got, I think it's relatively straightforward. We have things like, although I believe. Here we go. There's one. I believe. This is a more complicated one. Sorry, because we are saying that you understand the thing, but you don't agree with it. But this is fine. Okay, so it's useful to when you come across phrases like this, it's useful to make a note of them, because they can help you. Let's say they can help you use the language. Use the language in a more skillful way, so that you get the marks that you deserve. Okay, so notice the concluding phrase. I would therefore argue. Okay, really quite it's quite formal. Okay, so it says here, so when you write, it is important that each paragraph should cover a different aspect of the subject, and that the sentences within the paragraph should be linked together using clear references. Okay, what do the underlined reference words in Christina's essay refer to? So, what does this one refer to? What does this mean, or what does it refer to?
To the fact that it's hard to find a job.
Yeah, exactly.
That young people aspire to.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What education finds it, and what employers believe they? Who are they?
Young people, I think.
But it's also in general. It's like this impersonal.
No. This is actually
are looking for the job.
No, this is actually very specific. And what employer?
Yeah.
Who requires what?
The employers require people that have some competencies, but it's not very clear to me if the employers believe that people have to own that those competencies, or if employers. Sorry, this is the part.
I think that employers think that
the team what and what.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So the situation. So the situation here is that. So you've got. Let's say the employers. Oh, sorry. The people, young people. Coming into the world of work, you've got an education system which is the young people have just come through, and you've got employers have an idea about what they think they need. Okay, so the they here, this refers to the employers. Okay, and what employers believe they require. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem is that. The employers think they need people with a specific
exactly, and so
competence with specific competencies. Instead, the educational system, and I think that is the opinion of the person who is writing, the educational system should educate people to think in general, to be able to think, solving problems, and something like that. So probably the problem is that employers have to change their idea of the worker. I don't know.
Yeah, no. The idea is, I mean, I think this is something which I think she sort of points to. But looking at this, let's say, from an analysis point of view, using these types of references, so references to things which came before or references within the sentence, this is part of the sophisticated use of language at this level. So schools and universities should offer students courses which provide them. So who are they? Who's the them?
The students.
It's the students in this case. This one's fairly easy. However, employers often complain that courses are too theoretical and do not teach students in the practical skills they will need in the workplace. Who is the they? In this case, it's the students.
Looking for a job.
Yeah. Okay. While I understand this, now notice she creates a new paragraph here, because although this is connected to that, because she says, while I understand this viewpoint, that's this viewpoint. Okay. I do not entirely share it. I believe that the purpose of education is to primarily develop critical thinking skills, including the ability to analyze and solve problems. Okay. These abilities, what are these abilities?
Problem solving.
Yeah, it's this stuff. But notice how she's not repeating. She's using pronouns to help and relative clauses to help her not repeat stuff. Okay, abuse will throw out people's work to achieve this. What is this?
This ability in general to problem solving and all this.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay. So she says to achieve this, I do not think it matters whether someone studies history or theoretical physics, as long as the right teaching methods are used. Students will then pick up the specific job skills they require very quickly once they are in full-time employment. Okay. It is often suggested that young people need to gain work experience in order to make an informed choice of university course and career. Although I believe this, what is this?
To have to gain work experience.
Yeah, okay. Helps to focus students' minds on what working life will be like. Generally speaking, it is not possible for students to get a wide enough range of experience to be able to choose their, obviously this refers to the students, career wisely. Okay. I would therefore argue that the best way to help young people find suitable jobs is to give them an excellent general education while ensuring that employers realize how valuable it is. Okay. So this is the, okay. So that's, so again, this is useful. If you're not, if you're a little bit rusty on the use of this type of these words, these connecting, these things for, let's say, referring back, it's useful to do a little bit of practice on that, because it's very useful in the essay. Okay, so this is around about 250 words, I think. Okay, so why do you think it's important to make your opinions clear?
In general, it's important to
You're breaking up a little bit. In fact, you're breaking up a lot. You've stopped. Okay, so okay, yeah, I mean, again, you're being asked for your opinion. Okay, so make it clear that you're giving your opinion. Okay, so I think that's a key thing there. Okay, so anybody got any questions or comments about the writing task, about this particular thing, this particular aspect?
I have a question. If you want to express what you think about, for instance, saying this is the old same question of theoretical or general culture and applied setting, and you want to argue that it's more important to have, maybe agree with me, to have and then decline all the to express something like that is too much, or you just have to answer?
I'm sorry, Valentina. There was a piece which was very important, and you blocked. So can you just repeat what you said, please?
Okay. I mean, I'm going to write the essay.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to pick and just answer to the specific questions, or
you've stopped again?
That's having a general culture. I think that having a general culture is more important than to apply. It is the same old question between having a general culture, the applied tasks in the setting properly. I mean, can I express deeper, or do I have just to answer to the specific question?
Okay, right. So, no. It's been a little bit difficult because the connection has broken at least 3 times. So,
and I got stuck.
Yeah,
because of that.
Okay. The answer to the question is this. How much time have you got?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You will have about 30 minutes to do this. Okay. You have to make sure that you answer the question. Okay. So, and the question here is couched in these terms. Okay, write an essay discussing 2 of the methods in your notes. Okay. Now, if we look at how she answered the question, I don't think she really said much about this. She sort of, in fact, I think she gave, I'm going to go to the full text here. She did say, she mentioned the qualifications to a point, I think. Yeah. Need to gain work experience. Oh, she talked about work experience here. Okay, fine. So maybe she did. But I think you have to always bear in mind that you only have a limited amount of time, and don't fall into the trap of trying to argue something to the examiner. You're not being tested on the content. You're being tested on your ability to express an argument. Okay. Yeah. So I would follow the maxim of keep it simple. Keep it simple and keep it focused. Okay. Don't get sucked into any deep arguments. If that is going to take you away from the let's say the objective, which is to write the essay in a relatively short amount of time and get good marks for it. Yeah. So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but what you're saying about this is the age-old argument between theoretical preparation and practical preparation. That's fine. I think you can weave that into the information that we have here. So the theoretical preparation of the courses and qualifications compared to work experience programs where people actually do practical activities and work activities. This is fine, but just don't get sucked into sort of making a big deal of it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not epistemology.
Sorry, it's not?
In this case, we cannot speak about.
Valentino, I'm sorry, but every phrase you say, it sort of gets cut halfway. Okay, I'm going to move on because I think. But what's the thing here? Remember that this is getting you to think about what the different pieces of the exam look like, and how to approach the thing. So keep it focused. Yeah, answer the questions. 250 words. That's what you need. Okay. Right. Okay. So I thought I would move on to a second chapter, and as I say, I will send the whole thing around so that you can see what I'm using. But the title of this chapter was about mastering languages. So I'm looking at these words here. Okay. So I think, excuse me, I think that they are probably fairly self-explanatory. This one might be a little bit unfamiliar, a bit rusty. Po arrugginito. Okay, a bit rusty. And it refers obviously to something that you might not have done, not have done for a while. Okay, so
you need to oil your something.
Yes, yeah. You need to use whatever. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes just to have a look at this, how you can fit some of these words into, or phrases into the different boxes here. So rather than letting you do it cold, I'll give you a couple of minutes just to have a look at this. Okay. Okay. No. Okay, so anybody want to have a go at number one?
It's me. It's me.
For me, it's okay. Should I suggest?
Yeah.
I'd rather choose people tend to be bilingual. They speak original and the national language, the two exceptions.
Okay, and they
switch between languages with ease.
I choose a
switch. Yeah, okay. Anybody got anything different for number one?
No, I agree with him.
Yeah, I think that fits quite well. What about number three?
Fashionable loanwords.
Yeah, what are fashionable loanwords?
Prestiti linguistici, prestiti della lingua, no? Che derivano da altre from other languages. Yes.
Yeah, it's typical things which words move around. So of course there are lots and lots of English words being used in Italian at the moment, just as there are Italian words being used in English too. So what about number four?
Mother tongue.
Mother tongue. Mother tongue.
Yeah, exactly. So this is this thing about how languages mutate over time. So you can see this when you read Dante, which is a bit hard. when you read Shakespeare, it's English but not as we know it. What about number five?
A bit rusty.
Yeah, something that you don't use so much. What about number six?
Pick up.
Yeah, to pick up. So, excuse me. So you pick up the language naturally, and that's just about the best way to learn it. Okay. What about number seven?
Excellent command.
An excellent command, yes. Okay, which means becoming
highly articulate.
Yeah, highly articulate. This didn't sort of copy very well. Being able to use the language accurately. Okay. I wouldn't consider accuracy to be as important as fluency when learning a foreign language. Okay. And we should be teaching young people how they can use language effectively to achieve their
aims.
Okay.
Left. So
yeah. Okay. So can I just ask you what do people think about this? If we look at this one, for example, when you're learning a language, is it important to be important to be fluent, or is it important to be accurate?
Depending on the context.
No, it does depend on the context, but at the beginning, what's the you can't do both.
No, of course.
Which would you prefer, or which would you give more credence to?
The priority.
Yeah, which would you give?
Communication. In communication, fluency is so important.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
Can communicate also feelings and emotions.
Yeah, even if it's badly put together, you can still get the ideas across. Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I think the accuracy starts to come a little bit later when you start to be more aware, more cognizant of what you do, of what's happening. Okay. What about this one? Do you think this is the best way to learn a language?
Which is the point? Sorry.
This one. Living in the country.
I think
Well,
that's the best in general.
Yeah, but at present you can have a deep immersion also by means of internet connection. I mean, the immersion should not be real. Now it can be also virtual.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly one of the things which has changed massively over the last, well, even the last 10 years. So this idea of you want to learn Japanese. Yeah, I mean, I know some people who do this.
Yeah, no.
And so
or
they, yeah. Oh, I know a guy who he decided he wanted to learn Russian.
Yeah.
And he ended up
Russian, which is slightly different.
Yeah, and so he was doing. He actually learned. He picked it up pretty quickly. So yeah, and that was done on. That was done over the internet. It was done via a number of different apps and stuff. So yeah, okay. So I think this is cool. Okay, so one of the things we mentioned last time was about collocations and phrasals, and collocations are where you have groups of words which come together and which occur together quite a lot, but it's not like they're not random. They have a particular structure. So if you look at this example here, it says form collocations with the words in bold by writing make, get, or do in the correct form in the gaps. Okay. So if you look at example number 1.
Make.
Okay, so how would you conjugate it?
But you
made.
Should make.
No, it's actually fairly straight. It's actually fairly simple because you've got the didn't. You got this part at the end, so it's just going to be the past. Isn't it? It's just going to be. But you made. You made.
Made is the past. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
at the end, where you
got didn't. This. Yeah, you got this. You got this. Okay.
Made.
But you made a conscious decision to learn it when you were in Mongolia, didn't you?
Okay.
Okay. I'm assuming that this is learning Mongolian, which okay. What's essential though is
what
is essential, or what's essential though is
to make
to do an effort.
It's not do an effort.
To make.
You make an effort.
Make.
Okay. Yeah. So what's essential though is to make an effort. It's in the infinitive form.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Number 3. I remembered
doing.
I remember doing those dictation exercises as a language teacher. Okay, sorry, I remember doing those dictation exercises. Okay, what about number 4?
Gordon, sorry, excuse me. Why doing, not to do? I remember doing.
I remember doing. Why doing?
Because we refer to the past. I remember having done that.
And the action, was it a single action?
Yeah.
Or was it continuous?
Sorry, I remember to have done something like that. I have done. Okay, sorry.
What's essential though? Sorry, I remembered doing those dictation exercises. And why is it doing? It's because it's continuous in the past. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something, because you didn't just do one of them, you did them loads of times. You did lots of them. Okay. Right. What about the next one? As a language teacher, it would
make maybe my life a lot easier.
Yeah, you make your life easier. Yeah. What about the last one?
Do.
Well, okay.
Question, right?
There's a trick here, because it's the one word that we haven't used. Okay. But then you have to modify it. So it's get.
Get, to get.
But
It's
to get.
We have to use this, but get on its own is not correct. We need to modify it.
cannot hear.
Getting.
Is getting the question.
Yes, getting
Getting.
getting the questions right. So getting.
Gerund form.
Yeah. Okay. Gerund form. Yeah. Getting the questions right would be useful training for many interviewers. Okay.
Excuse me, is this referring to the last lesson? Is about the last lesson or not?
No. This is just more examples of collocations. It's just examples of collocations with make, get, and do. Okay. Yeah.
There's very poor connection. So it's, what did you say? Excuse me, could you repeat?
Okay. This is just an exercise on making collocations with make, get, and do. That's all. There's no connection to the last exercise, last lesson. Okay.
It's new.
Yeah, I just mentioned because there was a similar exercise, a short exercise last time, which was a little bit tricky, actually. Okay, just checking the time. We've got a few minutes left. This idea of using the wrong verb with the words and phrases, okay, using the wrong collocations, if you like. So what it suggests doing here is it suggests making some sort of table. So if you look at these things, okay, so we've got a course, a decision, a mistake, an effort, a point, a proposal, a qualification, the cooking, household chores, some shopping, harm, exercise. Okay, so these are all words which can be compounded with make, get, or do to create a collocation, a phrasal collocation. So what would you say for course?
Do.
Yeah, you do a course. Okay. What about a decision?
I make.
Make.
Yeah, you make a decision, or you take a decision actually as well. Okay. What about a mistake?
Make.
Yeah, we make mistakes. What about an effort?
Make
an effort.
Yeah, you make an effort. Okay, you make an effort. Okay. What about a point?
Get a point.
No, you make a point.
Make a point.
Oh.
Okay, but remember what this is. This is a point in an argument. Okay, so I'm making the point that we should not do this, we should not do that. Okay, it's a point in an argument. It's not a non è una punta. Okay, so okay, what about a proposal?
Do.
No, you make a proposal. You make a proposal. What about a qualification?
Get.
You get a qualification. So someone sounds like someone's phoning in from the International Space Station.
More.
What about a suggestion?
Make.
You make a suggestion. Okay. What about activities?
Do.
Yeah, you do activities, yeah. What about apologies?
Can't
Make
remember
an
now.
apology.
Make.
Yeah, you make an apology. What about business?
Do
Do.
business.
You do business, okay. What about complaints?
No?
Make.
Yeah, you make complaints, okay. What about changes?
Do.
Make change.
No, make changes.
You make changes, okay.
Make.
What about exercise?
Do.
Do.
Absolutely, you do
Normally.
exercise. What about further information?
Get.
Yeah, we need to get some further information, okay. What about friends?
Make.
Make, okay. What about harm?
To do harm.
You do harm,
Do.
okay.
Do harm.
Do harm, okay. Okay.
Get one's money back.
Yeah,
What
you
means
get
harm?
harm is when you hurt someone, when you
Okay.
damage them in some way, okay.
Un danno, fare un danno anche.
Exactly. So you get your money back, or get one's money back. What about one's best?
Do your one.
To do
Yeah.
one's best.
Yeah, you do
my best.
you do your best, okay. I have to say that I'm a little bit surprised to see this form here, because it's sort of, it is true, it is correct, grammatically correct, but it seems like an echo from the 1920s. So it's yeah, no, because people don't really use this apart from Boris Johnson, apart from Boris Johnson, but he's just Boris Johnson. So yeah, you get your money back, okay. You do your best. What about shopping? Some shopping.
Do.
You do some shopping. What about sport?
Do sport.
Yeah, you do sport. What about household chores? Which are
What's the meaning?
household chores. This is
What does it mean?
This is an old word. It's
Housekeeping.
housekeeping. It's cleaning the house. It's cleaning the house and doing all of that stuff. Yeah.
To make.
No, you do.
Okay.
Okay, because think about it. It's actually an activity. Okay. What about cooking?
Do.
You do the cook. You do the cooking. What about the right choice?
Make.
You make the right choice.
Make the right choice.
What about use of something?
You do use of something. No. You
No.
make.
You make use of
Fate
something.
uso.
Make use of, okay. And what about an improvement?
Do.
Make an improvement.
Make an improvement.
Yeah, you make an improvement, okay. So you make an improvement.
May I ask you a question?
No.
Thanks a million. Just if I say, please do your business, is something like, please think about you, something that you
No, try
Or is it bad
fatti cavoli
translation?
tuoi. No,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
No. That's
It's not a good translation.
No. There's another phrasal for that. It's
similar, because I remember there was some.
You mind your business.
Yes,
Mind your business.
Now, actually, if you're saying it to someone else, cioè fatti cavoli tuoi, mind your own business.
Yes.
Okay. Mind your own
I
business.
was remembering something.
Yeah. Do business is just basically commercial. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
There is a general
expression.
Regola.
Rule
to do this exercise.
No. The let's say the thing is a little bit more logical than it would seem, but sometimes you get phrasals or collocations, which is just completely, their meaning is completely, you couldn't guess from the pieces that make them up. Just remember that making and doing are obviously different, and they don't correspond to the Italian. Okay, quite often in Italian it's fare, and you use it in both senses. But in English, doing is typically an action. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking about, you do sport, you do the cooking, because even though you're making stuff when you are doing the cooking itself is a set of actions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the only guideline I would give, is if you do some shopping, because it's an activity, it's an action. Yeah.
Making is more similar to create.
Yes, it is.
Like baking a cake or create something with your.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Brings the idea of something material, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's something like that. Although, making a suggestion is quite abstract. Making an apology is quite abstract.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you create a suggestion anyway. You create in your mind. It's like a idea.
Yes.
You
exactly.
produce something. You produce a suggestion.
Yeah.
They say decision maker. So make decision maker.
Yeah, decision maker. So you make a decision. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I think that's okay. So I will send from the email. I will send the things round. Okay. And it might take me a couple of days to do that, though, because things are a bit hectic at the moment. And I think this actually works okay. So I'll sort of carry on. I'll take the pieces out of the book as we go forward. Okay, and I'll post these during the lessons. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just a question.
Bye-bye.
Which is the difference between sentence and phrase?
I don't think there is. Is there?
I didn't hear. Sorry.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is.
Thank you. Sorry for the connection.
No, it's okay. No, just thinking. No, I don't think there is. No, I don't think there is. Okay, so. Okay, right now, hold on a minute. I have to do something before I finish here. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Okay, interrompi condivisione. And I now have to switch off the stream.